Hi everyone, welcome to week 2. I am currently going through your discussions and watching your videos and looking at some of the applied assignments that I've already had turned in. And I just want to say thank you so much for all of the effort you're putting forth in this class. It really shows that you guys care about what you're doing, and it makes my job a lot more fun when I have good quality assignments to look at and go read. So thank you for that. And no, I am trying to get your grades posted by next Wednesday at the latest, or this coming Wednesday at the latest, depending on when you're watching this. So I'm going to share my screen with you and then go through the class for this week. All right, so if we look at your overview and resources for this week. Oh, that's week 1, sorry. Week 2 is the week we need. There we go. So for week 2, we're looking at the escalating pace of globalization, which was part of this week 1, and then how it leads to increased interdependence among nations for resources, goods, and services. So how do we compete in a way for some of those goods and services and resources? And then you can read through the content for the week, some of the takeaways. So for your reading this week, we've got the public goods chapter out of Boundless Economics. And the biggest thing I want you to kind of look at is make sure you look at those key takeaway boxes. So everything that's in green, also in the charts you see, those are kind of the key things I want you to be looking at as you go through this for the week. There's also some supply and demand graphs that you should look at a little bit closer. Hopefully you remember supply and demand from an economics course you've taken previously, talking about marginal benefits and marginal costs and how we add up individual marginal benefits to get the overall aggregate marginal benefit or the overall willingness to pay. There's a little bit of cost benefit analysis. Again, look at those key takeaways. So that's the first chapter. The next chapter I want you to look at is common resources. And again, just be sure you're looking at the key takeaways and so that you know what a common good is and what the tragedy of the commons actually is. Below the common resources, there is an NPR podcast. It's about 28 minutes long, I think, that just gives a real world, right now example of the tragedy of the commons. Then we've got this article from the Harvard Business Review. If it will load. And it's the state of globalization in 2019 and what it means for strategists. It's not too long of an article for you to read. Then we've got the EPI. So the Economic Policy Institute gives a bunch of different articles on what's kind of happening with trade and globalization right now and across the world, what has happened. We saw a lot of the trade tariffs and those types of things that happened over the past few years. So this might just be a resource for you to use in either your applied assignment this week or in your discussions. The next resource, once it loads, this is U.S. trade policy, some background and current issues. Again, it's not too long, just to give you some more background information on some of the policies that we currently have going along with trade, and specifically the World Trade Organization. Next one, hopefully it will load. Trade policies and procedures, again, more from the Department of Agriculture and looking at some of the policies that we have in place right now. You can go look at some of the trade agreements we have. Again, some more on the World Trade Organization, and then some of the Office of the United States Trade Representative. So just some more resources for you throughout the week. These next two are World Trade Organization specific because one of your questions is about that, and I'll explain that in a little bit. So just a little bit about who the WTO is, what they do, what they stand for, who has membership in it, all of those types of things if you're wondering about that. This next part is a quiz about what your ecological footprint is. Take this quiz and just kind of see, do you consume too much? Do you not thinking about resources and common resources and public goods, private goods, all of those types of things while you're doing it. I will update that link since it's obviously not working. Then you've got these videos that are just more on globalization in general, some of the upsides, the downsides, different maps from around the world just to help us kind of, again, visually think about what's happening. And then you've got 2 discussion questions to answer, so 2 discussion posts to create. And then this week your applied assignment is to create an infographic that displays the global connections and consumption levels in your industry or in your company, depending on how you want to go with it. I'm going to show you Canva. This is where you can make a free infographic. So if you create a free login or a free account, you'll be able to then print it. Hopefully this will work. So there's all these templates that you can choose from. You can search, you can upload things, you can put photos in. I am not a very digital media savvy person, so this works well for me. Mine are never too spectacular, but it works. And once you have that done, you can make yours 2 pages, which the one I made is, and I will show you that. You click on the 3 buttons and you click download. And after that, you can do a PDF print and then you click download. Sometimes if you make some edits to it, you just go in and click on it, do all those fun things. I just want to make sure it might, if you are logged in, when you go to download it, it may say you need to upgrade your account. Down here at the bottom, it'll just say download with the Canva watermark. And if you do that, that's just fine. You can have the watermark on it and it'll be fine. Again, some other these are just resources and websites for you to potentially help you out with your applied assignment this week. World energy balances, just some overview on how energy is being used throughout the world and by some of the largest countries. And then the data from World Bank. Again, you can search for some countries in their data and see what you can find, see if there's any way you can use that to help you out with this applied assignment this week. All right, so here's your first discussion. And because we're talking a little bit about, or because this week deals with trade policies and other policies the United States is involved in, because even if you don't realize it, most organizations have some effect from these policies. I want you to look at the World Trade Organization specifically and then argue for or against the United States dropping its membership. And then obviously you can respond to people who either agree with you or disagree with you. I just ask that you do so in a respectful manner. Your second post that's due is after you complete that ecological footprint or ecological footprint, I want you to propose ways that your industry or your specific company could reduce its ecological footprint by 10%. It doesn't have to necessarily, you don't need to show the math or anything like that, but just kind of come up with some ways that you think you could do that reduction. And then when you respond to your classmates, try to discuss ways that you and them could team up to reduce your footprints even more. And again, both of your discussions will have your original post due on Thursday night at midnight. And you need to respond to at least 2 classmates by Friday night at midnight. And then you have until Sunday to respond to anybody that has already replied to you. If someone replies to you on Sunday, please don't worry about trying to respond to them. I don't want you guys trying to be, you don't have to be monitoring these discussions every second of the day, but anybody who responds to you before Friday night at midnight, so hits this second deadline, I do ask that you respond to. And then for your applied assignment, again, create an infographic. I attempted to give you guys my infographic for higher education. Specifically, I used Dakota Wesleyan. For consumption levels, I looked at the amount of energy that was being used per student per week. And again, I'm not a digital media person, so this is what I came up with. Hopefully this will load. Maybe not. It should load. Oh, okay, it's not going to. It's being processed. So it will show you though. I hope so. If it's still not coming up, please let me know. I'm gonna go in and do some messing around with that to make sure that comes up for you. But you can look at my example. It doesn't have to be super in depth. Just give me your best effort, please. And that is week 2. After that, I'll try to get week 3's resources posted. Again, I want to thank you so much for putting in great effort in week 1, and I look forward to talking with you guys through the discussions. You know, if you feel like it, you can actually record videos to respond in the discussions if you're more comfortable doing that. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing your work from this week. Have a great day.